Hello, this is Sarah Mackenzie, reading for Sora Sky Messages as Sora. And last week we did our tarot deck review and walkthrough with the Moon Baby Tarot. So this week we are using it for our pick-a-pile. For those of you who are new, the pick-a-pile readings, I do 3 piles of 3 cards. I ask you to take a deep breath, pause whatever you need to do to determine which one feels best to you. And then I do put the times in the description, so you can go ahead and skip right to your reading. While I am shuffling, I want to thank you for liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, all of that. If you were excited about the Haunted Tarot deck, but did not make it in time to fund the Kickstarter, the store to pre-order is open on Kickstarter, and you don't have to have pledged with the campaign to go ahead and do that. So I just want to put that out there. If you would like your own personal reading, please head over to the website. Mostly you will find my remote readings there. If you are in the Pittsburgh area, check out my social media mostly for updates on where I will be. And if there isn't a time, place, whatever that you can find, feel free to send me a message and we will figure out how to get you your reading. If you like these videos and want them 2 days sooner, or bonus content or anything like that, access to special menu, that sort of thing, feel free to head over to the Patreon and check that out. All right, we are getting started here. Pile number 1, pile number 2, whoops, and pile number 3. So I'm going to ask for you to take that deep breath now. You can pause if you need to and figure out which pile is right for you. Again, it's 1, 2, and 3. And we're going to get started right now with pile number 1. We have the Queen of Swords, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Star. It is time to start taking some close interest in the people around you. Start looking at their behaviors, their actions, what adds up. This can be a card of not trusting everybody or even encouraging you to be able to open up. But here it feels more like just observing and seeing who is going to help you where you're going and that sort of thing. Having her to lead directly into that Ace of Pentacles, especially with her hand open, as if reaching out to receive it, feels a lot less like where you're like, hey, make sure you know who you can trust, and more like know who you can work with, know who is going to be on the right path, know who is going to help you and who you can help. Love closing that out with the Star. The Star is the card of hope, particularly the card of hope after complete disaster. In the Fool's Journey, the Star is what comes after the Tower. So you can see she's pouring the water right into the hole that the Tower left. So while she has really been through it, she is ready to move into something better. So I love those with the Ace of Pentacles. And that's why that Queen, she's already gotten rid of the people she can't trust. She's already moved past any sort of oversharing. She has gotten herself where she is, sometimes by herself, often by herself. So this is less about pulling people into your life or having to get rid of them, and more about moving forward without having to do things by yourself. This is taking all of those lessons and using it to make your life easier so you don't have to go through all of that again. So I love to see it. I love to see this idea of taking care, being aware of your surroundings, being aware of the people around you, and letting that lead you to something better. The Ace of Pentacles is all about potential. It's all about having all kinds of paths laid out before you, and to have it with the Star, which is where that empty space is. It is to look at the emptiness and the bareness and say, look at all the things I can do with this. And I just really love that optimism and that turnaround. So good luck. Moving into pile number 2, we have the King of Pentacles, the Chariot, and the Lovers. The King of Pentacles can be a card of generosity. He is also the captain of industry. He is confident. He is knowledgeable. They speak a lot about abundance. And while that's true, to me, it's a lot more about understanding that he knows what to do with his resources, that he has been through the ups and downs of the pentacle cycle, which it can take you through loss and poverty, but also having great riches and all the time in the world and giving that away, having that come in, having been through all of that. It's less that he will always have whatever he needs and more that he knows that even if he doesn't right now, he can get there. And you see he looks directly at the Chariot. The Chariot is a card of steering. It is the card of little decisions make the biggest impact, and it is the card of being very careful in those decisions, very meticulous, so you get really good results. I love that even though he comes before the Chariot, that's where he's looking. The reason he knows that he can get wherever he needs to be and he can have whatever he needs and he will always have enough is that he has been down this road before, literally, and he can do it again. And so I love these two together. I love the play off each other. They're even in similar structures. And I love that leading into the Lovers, because Lovers is a card of choice. It's a card of building the foundation in relationships. It is the card of the contracts, the unwritten contracts that we have with those around us. And so this idea is that when he comes into a decision, and when you come into a decision fairly soon, you know what's coming, you know what to do, and it should be an easy decision for you. The thing that sets you up for the better things, the thing that helps you build the best foundation, the best communication, that is going to be what helps you the most and what gets you where you need to be. So this is fairly straightforward, but essentially it's having confidence to know that having been through these sort of things, having been down this road before, so to speak, you can go down it again, and you can make sure that next time the road is paved better, and that you know which way to steer, and essentially it's a card of this time around being much smoother. So good luck with that. Finally, we have the third pile. Strength, the Two of Swords, and the King of Wands. Now this is really interesting because strength is about strength of character and often comes into play when we are being tempted to do something that doesn't feel right to us. It's interesting to me because the Two of Swords is a card of choice, and it's about being so close to the situation that you can't make that decision. So when you have strength like that, it's essentially saying, hey, let's take a quick rundown of our values and beliefs and make sure that when we come up against this choice, we aren't trying to go the easy path. We're trying to go the path that is right for us. Sometimes two things seem very, very similar, and that is often the case with the Two of Swords. But if you listen to yourself and think, how will I feel about this in 3 weeks? Even if it's the easy choice, will I look back and be proud? Or will I be having a really hard time? Then you're going to want to choose the other path. It seems simple enough, but it is really hard. The King of Wands, that's our boardroom CEO. That is the card that asks you to delegate where your passion lies so that you can focus on that and what is necessary but draining to you, and is there a way to offload it? These are really interesting together because as the King of Wands asks you to find another way to do things, we go back to that temptation where we get pulled into, but that's easier. So this is asking you where you can find that balance of doing what matters to you, doing it in the way that matters to you, but actually also succeeding and getting everything else done so that you can get through the day. So it seems pretty heavy, but as long as you really do stay true to yourself, you're going to be okay. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful week.